If you've had fibromyalgia for a long time, you probably don't just have fibromyalgia anymore. You might have started with back pain, then your neck, then your hip, then the fatigue, and then the brain fog. Then the doctor tells you you've got osteoarthritis in your spine, in your hip, and in your knee. You've got a disc bulge, then you've got bursitis in your shoulder, and then the IBS, and the list just goes on. Somewhere along the way, you stop believing that anything would help because the list is just far too long. I'm far too complex, this isn't going to work. Even if it works for other people, my case is different. But I want to show you why that belief, as understandable as it is the one that's keeping you stuck. So you originally get diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Then years down the line, you go to see the doctor again because your back pain keeps getting worse. So they decide to send you for a scan. And they find something, disc degeneration. So now that then becomes the explanation for your back pain. So now you've got fibromyalgia and disc degeneration. And the problem is, they can't do anything about disc degeneration. So you feel like your body is broken and there's nothing that can be done about it. Later on down the line, you start to feel shoulder pain. You go to see the doctor again, they send you for an ultrasound scan and they find bursitis. So now you've got fibromyalgia, disc degeneration and bursitis. So later on down the line, your back gets worse again. So they send you for an MRI scan and they find a disc bulge. And then that one's added to the list. Each label that gets added on, they do nothing about. And that's just another confirmation that your body is falling apart. Another problem with no solution, and that's another reason why you feel like you're beyond the help. And the thing is, each label adds another layer to be careful, another layer to protect yourself. Make sure you don't do too much, you don't want to overdo it. If the arthritis gets worse, if you go out for too long of a walk, you're going to compress the joints too much. It might cause the disc to bulge out more. A layer that you're too complex to feel normal again. But here's what no one told you about all of those labels, is that every single one of those labels can be found in people with zero pain. Arthritis is found in people who run marathons. Shoulder bursitis is found in baseball players. Rather than it being a problem, what if it's just an adaptation or a normal part of life? If you want to hear more about scans and what they mean, click the link in the pop-out banner above and that will take you to another video I made on exactly that. Every label that I got added to the list, none of them explained why the pain was there in the first place. You don't have 10 different conditions. You have one system that's been under threat for so long. The complexity isn't the problem, that's the signal. So think of it this way. Your Wi-Fi goes down at home, your phone stops working, your laptop stops loading the page, Netflix on the TV is not working, or your doorbell camera goes offline. It's 4 different problems, but one cause. You don't fix each problem individually, you just reset the router. And then you realise that everything's working again. If only we had a reset button for our nervous system. Pain in different places with no cause or no explanation doesn't mean separate problems that need to be solved one by one. It means that the system driving all of them needs some attention. The amount of labels on your list doesn't make it harder to help you, it actually makes it easier. Because when pain is everywhere with no structural cause, it points directly at the nervous system every single time. So 4 years ago, I was covering for a colleague that was unwell, and I saw one of her regular clients, and this is someone that had back pain and hip pain for over 20 years. She had arthritis, she had disc bulges, IBS, she had 3 surgeries on her back. She had been coming to physio for 15 years. She'd do all the exercises, she'd do all the Pilates classes, and she was just coming in for maintenance. So she'd come in for her regular massages or dry needling and acupuncture, just for the pain relief. The other physios would say, she's just too complex, it's just more about management. So on this occasion, she came in for her usual treatment. She came into the room, she laid on the bed, and I started treating. As I was treating, I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna talk to her about what I'm learning. So I said to her, you know what, if you want to book in with me and we can chat about this a bit more, just speak to the reception and they'll get you booked in. At first, she was a bit skeptical, but then a few weeks later, I ended up seeing her in my diary. By the end of week 3, she was pulling up a chair, sitting across from me, and we were just talking for 45 minutes. And we did this for the next 9 weeks. No more treatment and no more exercises. And one thing that I didn't notice until the end of week 6 was she wasn't mentioning her pain as much, that we were just talking about something completely different. By the end of week 12, her pain had significantly reduced, and we were targeting the root cause of the problem. the deep-seated emotions that had built up over her life. And these were the things that no one would ever listen to her talk about. Nobody wanted to listen to her, not even her own family. So I want you to sit with this. The length of your list isn't a measure of how damaged or how complex you are. It's a measure of how long the nervous system has been under threat and it needs attention. That's not a life sentence, that's a starting point. If this resonated and you're ready to stop going in circles, the link to apply is in the description below. So you can click the link and you can book your free call, and that's where we can work out together if this is the right fit for you. I'll catch you in the next one.